Hello again. This time I'm going to be showing some quality of life improvements that I've made. There's still a lot of just temporary graphics and things that I'm sure you've already seen if you've been watching any of these previous videos. All 1 to 4 of you, some of which are probably me. I'm not sure how YouTube counts your own views or whether or not it does that, but anyways, I was working on a couple of things yesterday and last night, and then this morning I realized that I don't think I ever actually talked about the icons here and the whole dashboard that I did and the help screen. So let's just go over that real quick. So we got the player number, we've got our AP bar, which has been there since the beginning. We now have a health display, which is very useful because if you are in a smoke screen, you can't see your own health, which is obviously a problem. We've got the name of the ship that's selected, which is useful for the same reason. This tells you your weakness. The mothership doesn't have one, but I wanted that to be something that's always visible unless you like manually hide it, but it's not something that you have to open up a menu to look at because I think it's just so fundamental to how the game works. I don't really want players to have to memorize every single ship's weakness because I'd like to have lots of ships when it's all said and done. And then down here we have our weapon icons. I drew these ones up myself. Some of them will probably be final, others maybe not. I don't know. I kind of have to see how Matt feels about them when the time comes for that. But anyways, it's pretty straightforward. So this is your primary fire. If I press 2, I get to my secondary fire, and 3 is my ability. It's pretty intuitive, I think. And then if I press enter, I get this thing that pops up with additional information. I know this is not very easy to read right now. I need to play around with the text so I can get something that's more readable. But anyways, it tells you the name of your attack, which you can also see up here when you press it. The ammo type, which is more relevant for something like this. AP cost, damage per hit. So like for example, the plasma barrage shoots 3 big balls, so it's 25 damage for each one, and it shoots 3 of them. It tells you right here. And then status is whether or not it's been disabled by an EMP. I am also going to add an ammo label onto here for, again, in the cases where you are obscured by smoke and you don't even know how much ammo you have for your weapons because it's only visible on your mini HUD. And yeah, and then we've also got little descriptions for each weapon and ability. And then also when you press enter, it gives you all the key information. So if you don't know how to play, you can press the enter key and then see how to do everything. This game is a lot more complex than Cataclysm was, and so it's, I think, just really useful to have all this information easily accessible. You can unpause the game, like exit out of cycle mode and leave that open, but you can also have it paused while you're checking things out. Anyways, all that stuff I just talked about has been in the game since, I think, my video on the Scorpion, but yeah, I just forgot to mention it. I guess it's not the most exciting thing, but it was something that really needed to be in the game. Anyways, what I was working on yesterday, first of all, is these outlines. See, if I zoom in, it kind of shrinks so that when you're looking from a distance, you don't get lost with, you know, where your ships are and stuff, because they do get really, really tiny on the screen, and that's just not a problem that I could think of any really elegant solution to. I was going to just have like a duplicate of the actual sprite that grows, even though the collider would stay the same size, and that is actually a built-in option, but I think this just looks a lot better and works a lot better. It more clearly communicates that, you know, that outline has nothing to do with your collider, it's just showing you where your ship is. And my only concern about doing something like this is that if you're in a smoke screen, always a smoke screen is a problem apparently. will that peek out from the edges and reveal your location? And what I found is not really. Like when you're in a smoke screen, you're most obscured in like towards the center, and then towards the edges not so much. So if you're kind of hiding a little more towards the edges, then you know you've got like a tiny bit less distance, especially with a big ship like the mothership. You've got a little bit less distance before your approximate location is revealed. But being that this is a couch, a local multiplayer game, I should say, you always know someone's approximate location if you're paying attention. So it's more a matter of having that precision to pick someone off if they're hiding. So that's really not something I'm too worried about, and I'm pretty happy with just kind of how this looks. The pixel perfect settings are not all set up right now, and I don't know if I ever will, because we may be changing some art style stuff, but we'll see what happens with that. Oh yeah, and also you can toggle them off by pressing M for the magnification outlines. So if you don't like that, you can just turn them right off. That's fine. But I'm kind of thinking of it as an accessibility option, and it's one that I personally actually like to have on for myself when I play. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is these little labels right here. This took so long for me to get working last night, because all my code that kind of determines which ship will be selected next, it's maybe more complicated than it needs to be, but maybe not. I've looked at it, and I think it just has to kind of be the way that it is. But anyways, I got it working now. I'll have to do some play tests to see if anything weird happens with it, but as far as I know, like if your ship explodes that you're controlling, it will give the correct output and all that stuff. So yeah, it's basically pretty straightforward here, I think. It tells you if you press, your previous ship, which one that will be, and your next ship, which one that will be. I don't really have any identifiers yet if you have like multiple like duplicates of the same ship, the same type of ship. I'll probably do that in the future, but for now it's just nice to not have to cycle through your entire group just to get to the ship that was actually, one previous or one next. And that's it. That's all I've got for now. It's not like the most exciting stuff, but I'm really happy that that stuff is in there now. Yeah, that's it.